Okay. Yeah, and then like I'll be explaining you various life cycles. Okay, so that's software life cycle, software development life cycle, and software testing life cycle. Then you have like bug life cycle. Okay, and documentation part, which is the important, okay, in agile, if you are agile, so some people are still using documents, some people are not. That's that's based on the project, how the project will be. That's not I mean because in most of the projects they will be using documents, but some of them they have eradicated all those documents. Okay, but still we need to know it, because since an experienced candidate, you need to know like documents, because documented, you need to have a document set anyway. Okay, because you need to understand this concepts, how the design, how the data modeling, or if it is if it is in QA, what is the requirements, what is the business, what is the procedure, what is the strategy, all those things, at least you need to know that. So even it doesn't matter, even if it is 100 years experience, right, you still need to know, because every company has their own style of doing their work. Okay, everyone does their work in the own style, they have their own policies, they have their own rules, they have own regulations. Okay, so that's the reason documentation is actually important. Okay, this time actually I'm giving like this is like SharePoint. Okay, this is like first time I'm actually introducing in this class. That this is I'll be giving you homework on this. Okay, and what you have to do in this is like you will be uploading the test plan and test strategy documents. Okay, these three things. Okay, so that you will know in a real time how will you do that. Okay, how will you upload and download. I mean, yeah, everybody knows, but there is a SharePoint, and this is all the documents will be stored. While going in the project, you cannot directly ask, okay, where is the document? You need to find out yourself. Everything you need to figure it out. Nobody helps you out. See, in the corporate world, right? You need to help yourself. Just if you understand that, help yourself. That means you need to help yourself. Everything will be there. You need to find out. Okay, so that's the reason. Everything, most of the things will be in SharePoint. Of course not all things will be in SharePoint, but the things which will be in the SharePoint, you have to check yourself. Nobody will tell you. Okay, only okay, they will might tell you the URL. In some cases, they in the worst case they might not even tell you. Okay, they will only say, okay, go check SharePoint, that's it. They're not even that, go find out yourself. So now you have to figure out where it will be. You have to see the SharePoint, or you have another Confluence access, or you have another different I don't know, new access. So all those things, so that you need to find out. So that's the reason I introduced this SharePoint. Okay, and then various methodology. I'll be giving you introduction on waterfall, spiral, and I'll be also giving you an agile methodology. Mostly this will be the last part of our class, just by next week. Okay, and then one test management tool. Okay, this Rally I'm using this class. I'll be giving you access to all the Rally. So I'll be giving you two access. Okay, there is one is for Rally, that is test management tool, and I'll be giving you access to the SharePoint. Okay, remember this is two access, but in real time you'll have so many access. You'll be having Unix, I don't know, Unix, Informatica, or if you are using any other tool, that will be. But in this class, I'll be only for knowledge sake will be. Okay, I'll be giving you access to this too. Okay, SharePoint as well as Rally. Okay, and then I'll be giving you introduction on QTP. Okay, I'll not go much deep into that, because since this is a QA class, not an automation, because that's an automation tool, right? So QTP or UFT, now recently they have new, right, UFT. I'll be just giving you introduction, like how does it looks like, how you can work on that. So not VB scripting, and I'll not go that far, because that takes time, and we only have 2 weeks, right? And then one class for QTP and one class for load runner. Okay, and then so that's it, about the syllabus. Do you have any questions in the syllabus? Does anyone have any questions? Syllabus, if you want me to add something, let me know, I will add it. Okay, but this is what I think is important. Okay, Most important thing is like, as a tester, QA tester, right? So as a QA, most important thing is opening defects. How many defects you can open, that much good it is. Okay, so that's what your survival, right? So see, to start with, okay, I'm going to explain in technical point of view. Okay, so everything will be in a technical point of view. So to start with, whenever you go into the new project, you will be you know open defects. Okay, you don't open just like that, go and open defect. No, you need to talk. See, always in United States, right, whatever happens you need to talk. So nobody does work there, right? They will only talk. So if you find any issues, approach your lead. Approach your lead. Hey, I found an issue. So this is I also checked in the documents, right? I checked in the business documents. I also checked. I didn't find that any relevant information in that. So is this an issue? Or because I've also checked with my So once you get experience, right, you can also say I check with the developer team. They don't. I didn't get a response. I didn't have. So can I open a defect? Is this a defect? First question. Is this a defect? Can I open a defect? So if you know, be proactive. See, more concepts, see more than here, more than this knowledge, right? Proactive is very important. So you need to be proactive. You understand what is proactive, right? You need to be, you know, um, you need to have com skills. You need to have need to talk to everyone, BA and developer, test team. Everyone you need to be in a loop. I mean, coordination. The coordination works. So you need to be very proactive in doing the work. Okay, so that was the introduction. Okay, and now I'm actually, have this software, various types of, I'm explaining the different various types of software testing. Okay, so this, not necessary you will be using all this in your project. Not necessary you will be using all this in your project, but it's good to know. It's you need to know. It's not good to know. You need to know because see suddenly someone asks, okay, what is a black box testing? You need to know, right? You cannot just say no, I don't know. Okay. Any questions so far? Yes, no, why not? I don't know. Any questions? Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I meant, right? That's what you need to be proactive. See, the main concept here is knowledge you can also gain. You need to understand the proactive. So whenever I ask some question, you need to be respond to that. At least to start with. Okay, later you will understand everything. You will know. You will get used to it and all those things. But to start with, you need to be proactive. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to our various types of testing. So I have included many types of testing in this, but there are others. Okay, there are many others. Okay, um, I have just included. If there are any other, let me also know. I'll add it to this, or you can learn yourself. No big deal. Okay, so black box testing. So this is okay. This black box testing is done by the testers. Okay, so this is like this testing is based. See this. So what is black box testing? Black box testing is like high level testing. Okay, it's done by the testers. Okay, it's not done by the internal code design or nothing related to the developer point of view. It's related to testing point of view. Okay, so what is the black box testing? So this is high level testing. So nobody will say, okay, what have you done in a black box testing? Okay, they might say, but it will be in the team. That will be on team level, not in individual level. That's what I meant. Okay, it will be in team level because team will be one will be doing functional testing, one will be doing regression testing, one will be doing performance testing. So many people, right? So they'll ask, okay, in the team level, because black box includes all the high level types of testing, regression testing, automation testing, and all the stuff. But okay, so that's why it's high level. So that's why it's like it's based on the requirements and functionality. Okay, so that's a black box testing. Okay, I come to this, specific. Okay, what is a functionality? So let me give you an example. Okay, based on the requirement. So requirements. Okay, we have the requirement document. Okay, you have requirement document. In that, based on that, you can. Okay, that's a functionality. Let's I'll be be more detail on this. Okay, what's the functionality? Functionality isn't like it's anything in an application where functionality of an application can be anything like text box, edit box, images, buttons, static text, dynamic text, drop down box, URLs, everything. So that is that is the functionality. Whatever. So let's take an example. Okay, this is URL. Okay, that's a functionality. Okay, this is, let's take an example. Okay, this is google.com. I'm just giving a very simple. We'll also go to one more complex complex application like amazon.com. Okay, I'm not fan of Amazon or something, but just want to give you some level of understanding. Okay, so google.com. Okay, so this is, so what's the functionality? So everything is a functionality in this. Let's understand the term functionality. Okay, everything is functional. Okay, so this button, okay, we will not bother about this button because this is a browser button. Other than browser, okay, let's worry about the other than browser. Okay, so this is URL. Okay, this is a functionality of that application, and all these buttons. Okay, this button. Okay, that's you can say the URL also. I'll be more specifically on button, and this apps button also, right? When you click this, suddenly this pops up, comes up, this pop up, right? That's also a functionality. Okay, that's also a functionality. And then you have this notification. Okay, this is also a functionality. See, whenever you're trying to do this page is moving suddenly. Is it okay? Is it required? Not required? I don't know. So we don't know about the Google requirements, right? If it is there in the requirements, we will know. Okay, this is the button. Okay, this is one type of functionality. Edit box. Okay, this is the edit box. Okay, search box. We'll be more specific in this. Search box. This is also functionality. Image. This is the image, right? Google. This is the image. So how do you know? Put this into here. See, so it's in google.com domain. Okay, so this is an image. Okay, so that's an image. So we also trying to test that no, there should not be any button kind of stuff, and the search box, it is what this search box, you can you enter the search box? Yeah, you can do that, right? Okay, this, and then Google search button. Okay, this is button, and these are all functionalities. This is all functionalities. Again, it is okay. This is all random functionality generation. So okay, see, I'm feeling trendy now. Suddenly it comes curious. All random generation, all random. It is getting generated by random. Okay, okay, it might not be random. It's there are some procedure to do that. Okay, and this is also, so all these are like functionality. So this is the functionality of an application. Okay, so that's what, nothing to do with black box testing. That I was explaining about the functionality. Black box testing is something which is is a high level testing which is done by the testers. That's what is, that's the definition is. Okay, and it is an internal system design is not considered. Okay, so that's the job of the developer, not a tester. Okay, so let's go to the next white box testing. So this testing is based on the internal logic of applications code. Okay, also known as glass box testing. So this is okay. This is also a high level, high level testing. This is done by the developers, not by the testers. Okay. Okay. Let me give you an example, like white box testing. Okay. Let's go. Let's take an example of Amazon.com. Okay. Oops. Let me take a different browser. Okay. So we have this. Okay, Amazon.com. See, now, suppose for a see, this is a so big website, right? This is very complicated. There are so many functionalities are integrated in just one application. Can you see that? See, there's so many here. Okay, so one guy could not do all these things. So there are so many developers. There might be so many architects involved into just showing one application, right? To show one application, there are so many people in that. So now, what's the job of the white box testing? Like I was talking about the white. Let's go this. Okay, go here. There you go. So what is the here? So there are so many, since there are so many applications here, right? There are so many things are integrated into just one application. See here, there is warning also. Even there are errors. See, still website is there. Okay, even after being so much errors. So there are so many things here. There is JavaScript, there is Ajax, there is HTML. Okay, there is whatnot. Okay, there are so many things. So here, let's say white box. What is that here? Okay. So white box. So internal logic, because testing this logic. Okay, this is not being specific anything here. Okay, nobody is being specific. Understand this in high level. That means testing this some code. Okay, some code got missed. You go here, edit this code, class. Okay, whatever. Put A, B, or something else. So I don't know. Okay, that's a developer job, not our job. I'm just showing you, to just for understanding. Okay, this is the job of a developer to view this code and troubleshoot it. So this is the internal logic code. This is how it looks like. What is the application? So application here. Testers work in front end here. Developers work here. This phase. Okay, everyone can see, right? This code, script type, take JavaScript, all these things. This is the job of a developer. So this is the internal logic. Okay, this is the internal logic of the application. Amazon.com internal. This is the internal logic. So developer, okay, works on that. Okay, so that is white box testing. So here they are not being specific. It's saying they are just saying, okay, it's they are testing internal logic of an application code. That can be anything. Okay, and they want to test that. Okay, that particular code, they have one JavaScript code, and they will be testing that, and they have their own tools. They have Eclipse and all those things, and they will be working on that one. Okay, so we will not be worrying about that. So that's white box testing. So what is white box testing? It's a high level, high level testing which is done by the developers. Okay, so black box testing is the high level testing where the internal system design is not considered and is done by the testers, not by the developers. And white box testing is done by the developers, and internal logic is internal logic of an application code is considered. Okay, so that is white box testing. Also there are other name like glass box testing, and they also have like another gray box testing that involves both black box and white box. Okay, so if it is in big corporations, right, they will have gray box testing, because some developers will be some developers will also be working on that, some testers will be working on that, or either way. Okay, so that's gray box testing. So I'm not included in this one, I'm just saying. Okay, next we'll come to the next topic. So everyone understood, right? Does anyone have any questions in this black box testing and white box testing? Okay, so right, functional testing as well as the requirement. Okay, see, black box testing is based on the functionality and the requirements. So functionality is like how shown you functionality, right? It can be anything. Let me text box, edit box, URL, checkbox, drop down, image, whatever, and apps you also seen, right? Click it. There might be Ajax scripts or whatever it is. So all those are considered as functionality. And requirements is something which is a document. You see the requirements. Does that requirement say does functionality has to behave like that? Yes. Good. No defect. Okay. Not exactly. It might not be a defect every time, but need to talk. You need to have meeting. You meeting with the lead, saying that hey, I'm getting this, and requirement doesn't say that. This is the functionality I'm getting, and the requirement doesn't have that functionality. So how am I supposed to do that? You know, how we are actually want to move forward with it. Okay. So, and also I see when I was testing, right, I would consider even in insignificant defect too. I mean, okay, not always, it's not always required, you know, just not necessary it should be there, but you know, sometimes the small issues create so many problems. Okay, it might get into production issues, so we don't want production issues, right? So you know, sometimes the smallest issues, you know, just insignificant, some text is missing, or some, you know, some the code is not there, you know, because of some code error, right? There is some text is not there, or some edit box is not showing up. Because of that, some heavy production issues might be there, and a company, you know, $1 million loss for the company also. Small issue. I'll show you that an example how small issue, small text issue will, you know, can cause the $1 million loss to the company. Okay, I will show you one example. So in the classes. Okay. Okay, next going forward, unit testing. Okay, so unit testing, so here is being specific, right? So we are testing individual software components or modules. It's done by the programmer, not by the testers. Okay, because it requires all the detailed knowledge of the code. So let's go back to our Amazon. Unit testing here is being specific. So I've shown you, like, you know, how do you. Okay. Okay, so here unit testing might be anything which is some specific module. So this is some, you know, complete whole page. Here let's go to here some script. Okay, some, okay, here something is there. They might, you know, have some issue in this, and you know, go and edit this some part. So this is a part module. Okay, so this is unit testing. This is done by the developers. Okay, done by the, and it's on the, like, some specific. It's, you know, uh, some module, it might not be, you know, a whole application. This was for the next page, man. You know, there are so many modules here, right? Okay, some classes we don't know, but they might edit something. There's some issue on that, and they will edit that one and, you know, fix that. So this is some module, not necessarily whole code. You know, whole code might be good, only this module is wrong. Okay, so that is unit testing. So testing in individual software components or modules, done by the programmer, not by the testers. Why? Because it's, you know, requires uh, more knowledge and, no, an internal design code, because you need to communicate with the architect, you know, design architect, right? Whoever has designed that, not exactly design architect, that can be like some architect. Okay, if it is web architect, okay, or if it is Java issue, then he has to, you know, Java architect. You know, there are so many things. Okay, there are so many people involved in it, and there's so many things going on. Okay, so so those guys have to communicate with them, because those guys have designed some other way, and BA is telling something else, and, you know, it's showing up here something. So that's the reason you need, you know, internal knowledge of the code. I mean, you need to know. I'm sorry, internal, you know, internal design you need to know to understand the code. Okay, that's the reason it's done by the developers, not by the testers. Okay, so let's go to the next topic. So everyone understood, right? The unit testing, this is done by the programmers, not by the testers. And why? Because it is like, you know, it requires detailed knowledge of internal program design, and it is like you are testing individual software component or some module. Okay, that's the unit testing. Okay, let's go to the next, uh, incremental integration testing. Okay, before the incremental integration, right, let me talk about functional, and then we'll go to integration. Okay, so functional testing. So as I told you already, functional testing. Let's close this. So where is it? Let's open this in Firefox. So functionality. So anything can be functionality. Okay. This is an application, okay, google.com or amazon.com, anything. See, there are like, let me so I didn't give introduction about applications. So there are two types of applications. Let's understand for for the sake of understanding. Two types of applications. One the client application, one is web application. This all what I am not talking about is all about web application. What is a client application? Client application is something which is installed in your system, and you will be doing that. Example like Outlook. Let's take an example, Outlook or MS Word or MS Excel or anything which is installed in your system. And web application is something which is accessing through browser. Anything which you access through the browser is web application. Anything you access from your desktop, like I don't know, Yahoo Messenger, okay, that's an client application. Why? Because you are accessing through your system. Okay, and there are so many client applications. Okay, so and all the client applications, are taken into the web server, and there are two servers, right? Web server and client server. Okay, I'm not going deep onto that. That is like hardware point of view. Okay, so there's a like client server and web server, and whatever communication you are doing, this is will be in the web server. If you are doing this all this web application, then it will be going to the web server, and if you are doing a client application, then it will be going into the client server. Okay, so so at the end of the day, you will be accessing some server. Okay, you will be accessing someone's server, right? If google.com, then you will be accessing Google server. If amazon.com, you will be accessing Amazon. Okay, so this is like this is an application. Okay, this is an application and you are accessing through browser. Okay, I'm using Firefox, looks like Chrome. Okay, and I'm accessing this as a web application. So this is a web application. And what is the functionality? So functionality, as I told you, everything like whatever is there in the application. Okay, you can say like whatever there in the application, that is an functionality. But it can be URLs, as I told you, URL, text box, edit box, search box, drop down button, okay, drop down bar, okay, URLs, images, all these are functionality of an application. Okay, some random text like this. Okay, I'm feeling puzzled. Whenever you hover this mouse to that particular, so that is a functionality, right? I'm just trying to explain what this is also functionality. Okay, I'm feeling safe. Okay, I'm feeling, so this is also one type of functionality, but we don't know requirement. How does it show up? Is it random, or is it have some bugs in that? We don't know. That can also be a bug. So instead of say I'm feeling lucky, right? Curious. Instead of coming, so there's like that's all the functionality. So we'll not be testing all that, but only specific, which only we require. Okay, so that is functionality, and you'll be testing that one. So that's the functional testing. Okay, let's see what the definition says. Okay, so this type of testing ignores the internal parts. Okay, and black box testing is geared to this. So black box testing, okay, so the functional testing will come under. Okay, so all this functional testing will come onto the black box testing. Okay, functional testing, performance testing, regression testing is all will be black box. The black box is high level, right? All the mixture of all the testing you can consider as a black box. And then, okay, so this functional testing is to test the functionality of an application. Okay, that is called functional testing. And this types of testing ignores the internal code. Internal part and focus on the output as it is for the requirement. So whenever you're trying to test, okay, you want to say, okay, you want to see, okay, Google, why does it looks like this, so we need to see with the requirement document. So requirement document should supposed to document all this information in that. See, okay, Google screenshot should look like this. Okay, not the old Google, they have changed that old image Google, right? And there has to be a favicon here, so this is a favicon. Okay, and all those things should be documented in the okay. So somebody asked, right, what is the difference between functional testing and black box testing? Black box testing is a high level testing. It's a high level testing. That includes functional testing. Includes functional testing. See, no, what is end-to-end testing? Okay, let's not work. Let's not talk about that one. Integration testing, incremental integration testing. Okay, all those are included in Blackbox testing. Performance testing, regression testing. For sake of understanding, we'll take it as all these are included in the Blackbox testing. So Blackbox testing is not a functional testing. It is a part. So if you are doing functional testing, that means you are doing some part in the black box testing. So black box, it's a functional testing, the part in the black box testing. Well, let's say you have three parts: functional, integrated, and regression testing. Let's say you have three parts that contributes to the black box testing. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay. So that's a high level. So it's better to understand as a high level. What is black box testing? It's a high level testing where it's done, and it's done by the testers. Okay. Let's go. Okay. So everyone understood the functional testing, right? So we test the what is functional? Functional testing is to test the functionality of an application. Okay. To test the functionality of applications such as edit box, text box, drop down button, okay, URL, images, etc. So that is the functionality, and also focus on the output focus on the output which is as per the requirement or not. So this is the important point, right? Focus on the output which is as per the requirement or not. We have to validate against something. That something is like document. You have to see that document says that. Yes, then this is functionality is correct. If the document doesn't say that, you need to talk. You cannot open defect just like that. You need to talk first. Okay, and that is functional testing. Let's go to the integration testing. Okay, so integration testing. So testing of integrated modules to verify the combined functionality after integration. Okay, modules are typically code modules. Okay, so let's take an example, and again we'll go back to Google. Okay, see, Google.com is one application, but there are so many other things which are integrated into this. So they are like talking about the integration, right? So there are so many things integrated. Let's take an example. Okay, Gmail. Okay, so how this is integrated, I'll show you. So they have just put just button here. Okay, they are just but this button takes to a different domain altogether. Okay, not domain, it is subdomain. Okay, so you see that mail.google.com. So that means that is a different subdomain. Okay, so let's not worry about this one. Okay, so that's a different domain, because if they have changed. Okay, that might not be a different domain. Let's take a YouTube a different domain, right? YouTube. So this is like integrated. They have let's say they have apps. Okay, now once you have done, these all things are showing up, right? All modules. Let's take the technical term. These are all the modules. Okay, these are apps. We'll take it as an app as a general user, but these are different modules. Okay, this takes in each and everything takes a different domain. Okay, YouTube has a different domain. Google Play. Okay, they have in a subdomain, so they are using it. Okay, news. So this is like they have integrated. They have integrated into one piece called Google.com. Okay, and there are so many other things here. Settings, terms. Okay, and about. There's so many URLs they have integrated. There's so many images they have integrated. Okay, so that is integration. Okay, that's the integration. They have integrated various modules into one piece. Okay, so otherwise, if these things you don't have, you need to again go to you have to remember that URL. No, Gmail. What is Gmail? No, we don't know. Here it's simple. Here you just click this, it will automatically redirect. That's the convenience point, right? So because of the convenience, they have integrated all this. Okay, so that is the integration. So now so what happens, right? So that is integration, right? So like there are so many developers involved. Let's say this google.com. Okay, okay, we'll remove this. Okay, so this google.com is working on one developer. Okay, Gmail, that is a different subdomain. So let's say there's other developer who is working. There are so many people who will be working, right? Not only developer and tester. There are so many people who are like testers, developers, architects. Okay, um, and then there are managers, scrum masters. Then again the backend ETL developers. So many people. So there are so many developers working on. Let's say there is this other developer who will be working on this another module. Okay, let's say drive. Someone who is working on this drive. Okay, they are developing it their own application. Suddenly, when you click this, okay, this is showing up. Okay, this is showing up. That means this is done by the completely altogether different developers. Okay, so that is. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Okay, yeah, sorry, I was in the call. Okay, so so that is like some developer is working on that one, and and they are integrating this one. So that developer says okay, the guy who is supposed to test this, they have tested google.com is working fine. Okay, the guy who is testing that drive, okay, that guy said no, this application is good. Now they have integrated that Google Drive into this. Okay, they have integrated into this some app. Okay, this button called this. After integrating that, they have to make sure that the code is not broken, right? Because after integrating, they might some code might break up and not and google.com is not showing up suddenly, or that app is not showing up. So that is something which is integration, like testing. You need to test that after integrating that module into this module. Two separate modules, two separate developers. Okay, someone is developing this google.com, someone is developing drive. That module is integrated into this module and then testing this module as well as that module. That is called integration testing. Okay, so let's see what the definition goes here. Okay, um, testing of integrated modules to verify the combined functionality of an integration. Okay. Okay. Modules are typically code modules, individual applications, client and server applications, etc. So after integrating that module, so given you example, right? Example here I have given you drive. So it's okay. Somebody has developed that application and somebody has developed this google.com. So the team who was working on the Google has tested this application. That's good. They said that's good. And the team who were working on drive.com, they said okay, that application is also good. Both are working fine. But now they want to integrate that. So now that application should get integrated in this and make sure both are working, and also like that integration point is also working. So that is integration testing. Okay, I hope guys have understood what is integration. Okay, so that's testing of integrated modules to verify the combined functionality. Now both has to work, right? That also has to work. This also have to work after integrating. After integrating, both should work. So that is the integration testing. Okay. So let's okay, we have to now we go back to incremental integration testing. So this is like being more specific. Okay, the integration we know just integrated a module into an application and testing that one. Okay, that is integration testing. Okay, but in incremental, it's like you are this name itself says increasing. So that means you are you're increasing the modules. Like let's say now First they had this only this one. Now they have one more button, right? More. Oh, there is also more button. When you click that, new, okay. Again new models. Okay. So now they are incremental, right? That is incremental integration. That means they have integrated it, and you need to test even that. That is incremental integration testing. They have integrated, and it's incremental. That means it keeps on getting increased. One after the other, one after the other, it keeps on. Okay, there is again one more. Okay, even more from Google. Now this time URL is being changed completely. See? So this can be, this can be a incremental. Listen, I've just given you example. Okay, don't have to be that way. Just to understanding, though, for understanding point of view, just say. Okay, that is incremental integration testing. Okay, so that means bottom-up approach for testing. That is continuous testing of an application as new functionality is added. So that means a new functionality is always added, and this should be done by the anyone, testers or programmers. Okay, that is incremental integration testing. Any questions in functional integration and incremental integration testing? Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, so let's go to system testing. So the system testing is like entire system is tested as per the requirements. Okay, so system testing is like okay, don't get confused with it's also they have included with black box testing is type of testing on overall requirements. Okay, that is different, and this can be part in the black system testing can be a part in the black box testing because it says like black box testing, that is overall parts of the system. Okay, but system testing is like entire system that is tested. Okay, we don't test entire system because the entire system is so much big, right? It's like everything that includes in the system, that is like OS. Okay, which OS you are using. Okay, what are the operating system. Okay, operating system, is it Windows, Mac, or Unix, or Linux, or and then you have the browser, which browser you are using. Is it Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, Opera, so on. And then you have like which versions are you using in that browser. So it include whatever there in the system, what you have in all the system, right? You are actually trying to test that. That is system testing. Okay. So entire system, that includes entire system, right? Everything what is there in the system, okay, is being tested as per the requirements. That is called system testing. Okay, this is also on a high level. Okay, that's the high level point of view. Okay, system testing is also on a high level testing. Okay, so next go to next one, end-to-end testing. So in this end-to-end testing, so end-to-end testing is pretty broad term. Okay, so there's also end-to-end testing from ETL point of view. There's end-to-end testing for the QA point of view. So I'll be giving you more of a QA point of view. What is the end-to-end testing? So because see, end-to-end testing you have so many other things, right? So in end-to-end testing, like you will be there is a data ETL point of view, right? So there are so many things. There are databases, you have like then you will test the source information, then you will have like target, you will be testing the target, and then you have ETL. Okay, ETL Informatica jobs. Let's say if you are using Informatica, then you will have to test the detailed jobs. And then you have like if you have some third-party tool like AutoSys job scheduling tool, you have to even do that. Okay, and then you have the of course back-end testing, where you actually test this, and this is completely. And again you have the BI reporting tool, then you test those BI and those report section. So this is all is a end-to-end. That means end-to-end. The name itself says, right, from start to end. That is end-to-end testing. So that is similar to system testing, but system testing is like which contributes only in the system, but end-to-end testing is like more of a process point of view. System testing is what is there in your system, but end-to-end testing is like process point of view, where a complete process you are including. QA process might be QA process or ETL process. It don't have to be uh, it's a pretty broad term. Okay, ETL, but as a QA point of view, ETL testing, I'm sorry, end-to-end testing is functional testing, integration testing, incremental integration testing, regression testing, okay, and beta testing and whatever. Those are done in the end-to-end testing as a QA point of view. Next, coming to next, let's come to the next topic. Okay. So, any questions in ETL and sorry, end-to-end testing? So, end-to-end testing is like completely testing like from start to end. Okay, that could have like such as interacting with database, network communications, interacting with the hardware applications or system. It's like more of a process point of view. Process what you are trying to do. This is an QA process or ETL process. But system testing is something which is system, being specific to the system, nothing to do with the process, right? Okay. So yeah, so for example, for end-to-end testing as a QA point of view, right? I told you, right? Functional testing, okay, integration testing, regression testing, performance testing. For timing, will take these are all. If these are all done, then end-to-end testing is done. But in a ETL point of view, it's pretty broad, right? Now it's like you have to like completely. It's like completely. You're validating the database, you're validating the data, you're validating the Informatica jobs, you're validating the if it's a third-party tool, you're validating that too, and so this completely uh, ETL point of view. But QA point of view, it is only that functional testing, regression testing, integration testing. Those are all comes into end-to-end. It's like start to end. Where does it start and where does it end? So that's the complete, and all the testing involved in between that. So that's called end-to-end testing. Okay. Let's go to the next topic. We have only slides 12, right? Okay. Next, come to the sanity testing. Okay, so there is one more actually, one more testing, that the smoke testing. Let me explain like before the smoke testing. Okay, what is the smoke testing? Smoke testing is like whenever you have got an application, right? Let's say you have an application. Let's say developer has so there are three environments, right? It's there are three environments: developer environment, tester environment, production environment. Like for for a being simplicity, we'll take only three because there will be any other environments too, like performance environment, and again you have testing, you have 3-4 environments. Okay, let's not worry about all those things. We'll worry only three: development, testing, production. Okay. So what happens in the smoke testing? So whenever the developer, let's say developer has developed an application and says like he has done the developer environment, and he says okay, you said to the guys, okay, so this will be moving by tomorrow. Okay, test that application by tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow, right when you come there, and it will be there, and you go and test there tomorrow. So what happens is, right, once the development, when the code is deployed in the development, and they move to move the code into test environment, right? Once it has been moved in test environment, then only our job starts. Okay, our job starts only, we can work only on test environment, right? Normally we don't work on development. Okay, there are some cases where you have to work in development, people are hurrying. Okay, you have to even do that, and you also will be doing in production. I don't know. Okay, that's a different story altogether. But this is a process. You have to test in the test. So once developer says, hey, so now you have to do smoke testing. What is smoke testing? Is like random testing. Now they said, okay, now it's come into the test environment. Now let me test. Now you say, okay, smoke testing is like, it's kind of random. Okay, you will be testing this. Okay, these are working. Okay, these are working. Okay. Now suddenly you find some defect in smoke testing and say, hey, it is not working. And I'm doing only the smoke testing. I didn't even start any functional testing right now. I'm doing smoke testing. So now that's the issue. Okay, you open a defect. Okay, you go and talk to a lead saying that, hey, I was trying to do smoke testing. So developer said like, okay, that will be ready, and I was trying to do smoke testing, and this is not working. And you said, oh, okay, let's open a defect. Now when you open defect, okay, that will be going normal. So there is technically no difference in functional and smoke testing, but in smoke testing you just do random. You just random and say, okay, it's working, now we can start testing. So just like that, officially you're saying like, okay, we can start testing. Okay, so that is smoke testing. It's like testing random to make sure that the application is testable or not. So that application testable or not? You're doing that testing. That's called smoke testing. So sanity testing to determine the, coming to the next one, right? Sanity testing is to, so in this one, right, it's similar to that one. Here you're testing the version. Let's say, testing to determine if new software is version is performing enough to, okay, so new, they have introduced a new version, like version, right? We go ahead here and find out what's the version. Oops, luckily these people have released new version. Okay, so this version is like 44 point, so this is a version. Okay, this is installing. Okay, so now they have they want to make sure, okay, this version is this is what you do. Okay, so once the version is performing well, to accept the testing, so now you want to test it, but you need to see, okay, that version of the software. Now okay, let's say you have started testing in 44.02. Now you will also, okay, now they have changed the version, let's say. Okay, now I'll do that. So that was very good example, right? That was good. Now the version has changed. Did you see that? 44.0. What is that? 44.0.2, right? Now you'll be testing this. See, so can you guys see the difference? I already see the difference. See, this home button they have changed completely. Okay, let's not worry about that. Okay, let's go again. See, you have seen, right? We were working on 44.0.2 or whatever it is. Now it's 45. So now you can start testing in 45, new version. Is it new version compatible to the system? Is it so they have changed the icon. See, you can see. I mean, I can see the difference. I'm not sure about you guys. See, these new things have been. Okay, this was already there, I guess. And see these buttons and this home button. See, they changed the icon with this. This has become like smaller, right? The font has changed. Okay. Okay, this is Firefox, but it's looking like Chrome. Okay, that's a different story. But yeah, okay. So that's how that's how you can. That's the sanity testing. You're testing that new version. Just now we installed a new version, right? That new version is compatible with the system or not. Testing that one. That is sanity testing. Okay. Next, regression testing. So in regression testing, right? Testing application as a whole. So In regression testing, you will be using normally, okay, normally you will be using a tool. It may be QTP, it can be Selenium, it's UFT, or no, whatever. It is a tool. It's an automation tool you will be using for the regression. See, why you are using regression? See, what happens, right? Whenever, let's say, let's take in again an example, Google.com. Okay, so they have put that new web page. Okay, they have introduced a new Google.com. They have introduced a different modules. Now you have done with the functional testing, you have done with the integration testing, you have also done with the integrated incremental testing. I'm sorry, incremental integration testing. You have done with that. Okay, you have completed all this. Now, no, that suddenly developer guy has found some issue in that. Okay, there's a developer, we don't know because we are not able to see that issue. We say, oh no, that's an issue. We are changing the whole code. What? Yeah, we are changing the whole code. Okay, change the whole code. Now, okay, now I am not going to do all this again, right? I am already done Google.com. The team has already done that integration part, and that other team has done drive part. Everyone has done their job. Now you are saying to me, you are changing the whole code. That doesn't make sense to me, right? Now I am not going to test that. Now that's the reason you need to do regression testing. Now they are saying like they have changed the whole code. So I'm like, seriously, I've done all this for nothing. No, you're saying that all code is changed. So now what they have different team, QTP team. So they said, okay, we have tested that, is good. That code is there, that's not an issue. But we are changing some part in the code because there was some issue. So code is good, but there are some issues in there. We fix that issue. But we don't know because of that issue that might break some other thing, right? They have introduced some new thing. That new thing might break something else. So that's the reason you need to use regression testing. Okay, this is not done manually. The term itself regression means, it's like everything is done and you are trying to do it again. And that is done by the tool, automation tool. That can be a QTP, UFT or Selenium, or if it is Java application, most of Java applications, Selenium is pretty good. But if it is .NET and all those stuff, then QTP is good. Okay, but now everyone are trying to use open source, so I don't think that will make much difference in the long run. Okay, so that is the regression testing. I hope everyone understood, right? So this is normally not done with the QA. No, it's not that. There will be separate team, okay, QTP team or Selenium team who will be doing this. Okay, so that was an example. Okay, what is the definition? Testing the application as a whole. Okay, modification any module or functionality is called regression testing. Okay, so I hope everyone has understood that. Then we have so I'll be explaining this too tomorrow, since we don't have that much time left. So I have only 1 minute. Okay, so do you have any questions? Any questions to me? Okay, good. So no, so this is just a first class, right? First two class, just bear with me. Okay, I'll be explaining you the complete process. Okay, you could do that once you have gone all these classes, right? You don't have to right now. You can just concentrate on these classes, and of course you can Google and work on that one. Okay, but so at this point of time, just understand these concepts. Okay, just bear with me. These are two classes which is like not very productive, right? We will go more into productive work. Okay, by hopefully by today's Wednesday, right? Thursday, Friday. By Friday, I will show you you'll be having much more productive work. By tomorrow itself, I can give you some how do you test that, how do you work on that, how do you test an application. So just give me some time to, tomorrow one more class. We'll just finish this testing. This is only the introduction part, because you need to know, right? Because whenever you try to do something new, testing comes up, right? So you need to understand what is that and which module does it comes, and you need to test. So that's the reason I'm giving you some explanation. I'll be giving you access to Google Drive too. Okay. Yes, I'll be sending you recordings today. Okay, if you want, I think. Uh, Give me a second. If if you see in the handouts, right? So you guys have handouts. In that, I have included this PowerPoint. If not, I can send you an email. No big deal. Okay. Yeah, of course, I'll be sending you recording too. Sure. Okay. Okay. Whoever doesn't get by 4 p.m., right? Nobody gets 4 p.m. Just email me. Okay. Because I have all the emails, but if I miss something, just make sure, by 4 p.m. If nobody gets, I mean, if someone doesn't get, just email me back. Okay. So I'll be adding you, and I can send you. Okay. Recording, as well as if you want notes. Okay. I can also send you notes. This PowerPoint. You can go to the PowerPoint. For today PowerPoint is good, and from tomorrow we'll be finishing this topic and going into the action. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. So can we close this class for today? Okay. Sure. Thanks everyone.